Today I am building a house in Bloxburg using nothing but decals. No real furniture, no real walls. Literally everything is gonna be like a cartoon. Let's see how cursed this video is gonna get. Okay, guys, so we're jumping straight into this today. And also, do you like my custom sofa? This was just sort of giving you a sneak preview as to what this video is gonna be like. But of course, we don't start houses typically with the furniture. We actually start them with the walls. So I am gonna allow myself in this house to use fences to outline it. Like, I'm not actually Jesus. I can't do this without some outline. And so I think we should have maybe the entryway here. We've got to remember, we don't want to be making this too big because all of the walls have to be flipping made out of this see-through plastic decal. And also, we obviously can't make it 2 floors because decals, you can't actually walk on them. Like, if we were to flip this upside down and make like a giant full, as you can see, we can stand on the squares, but as soon as you stand on the decal, so it's gonna have to be a bungalow today. I'm thinking this can be our bathroom, but coming to think of it, we're gonna have to squeeze a lot of decal in here, so let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay, if you are curious, this is the layout. Very, very simple. And oh my god, how badly do I just want to go in and place these walls? Well, to be fair, we do actually need 1 wall because we need to compare our decal to the wall. And I have a question. Am I allowed to use paintings or does it have to be decals? Like, surely it doesn't really matter. Oh, and also the one exception to this challenge is basic shapes because you can't just place decals in midair. We of course need something for them to be placed upon. So actually, I'm thinking this wall situation might be a little easier than I thought. If we make this just using a transparent cube, nice and simple, and we'll make it the exact width and depth of a normal wall, then technically we should be able to use a painting. And obviously this counts as a decal, guys. Anything that is a painting in Bloxburg. So we'll pop them on and we're going to be going a lot of in and out today. In and out burger. And I need to pick a nice brick for the outside of my house. So I'm literally just looking up brick. And oh, they literally have the Bloxburg brick. But I feel like we should actually seize this chance to get like a cool exterior. We could make this a modern house actually. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, that kind of looks like a dungeon. Help! And obviously in the inside, let's just look up modern tiles. I think would be good for the interior wallpaper. So this is going to be our interior wall and this is our exterior wall. I actually love this. And so it's going to be pretty easy from here. And how much do you think this is going to cost? How much do we think this is going to cost, guys? For your reference, it's normally $8 measly. Siri, how many times greater is 2,218 from 8?
277.
This is 277 times more expensive. I'm actually going to be going bankrupt in this video. Now, are we allowed to use pillars? I guess not. Are we allowed that? Like, I guess the whole house is decals, but would you be mad if I place a pillar on the corner? I think it's for your own good. And we'll keep it simple. We'll literally just keep it like plain white. I am going to allow myself pillars, okay? Do not get triggered in the comments because it's just a pillar. This is not making my life any easier. It's just making it more aesthetic for your guys' eyeballs. Now, we have actually got to be kind of careful with this because we obviously want to add windows and stuff and we do not want to be wasting money deleting these. So let's actually keep that in mind and start leaving space for some windows. And oh my goodness, look at how fast my money went down. Anyway, this is like the interior. And to be fair, guys, this actually just looks like your average house. The next step is basically going to be doing the windows. We've got to just basically shorten this as short as it can go.
See how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Really? Really? You can go shorter than that, honey. Okay, so I found this domino one. We're going to resize it on the smallest of small grids. Is it just me or that does not look 100% equals pequals? That's going to trigger me. That is actually going to trigger. I think the thing is, it's like impossible to see how wide this basic shape actually is. Why am I doing this on transparent basic shapes? That should really be the question that we're asking. Okay, I think I've managed to get 100% equal. So if you couldn't tell what I'm doing here, because, you know, it's actually a pretty genius idea. Basically, we're going to match those domino pictures to the texture. I'm then placing a transparent decal in the middle, and this is going to have a window frame on it. So these ones should be easy because we can obviously just match them to what we already had. And then the decal, I'm just going to look up window and PNG. So if you're not a computer tech expert like me, then PNG basically means it has a transparent background. That would be so nice, but I'm not dealing with curved shapes today. Oh, a white one. That is cute. But actually, now I'm looking at that, it kind of is clashing with the white walls. So maybe the brown was a blessing after all. Please go HD. Oh my god, it's actually not going HD. That is a deal breaker for me.
1 hour later.
Oh my goodness, guys, it has gone HD. That is actually my saving grace. Look at this. Oh, wait, sorry, it's dark. This is perfect. So obviously we've just got to resize it, make sure it's the exact right shape and size. Wait, I was actually planning on having modern windows. I don't know why I've gone for these ones, but I guess it kind of looks cute. And it's basically the same price, so I'm not really going to moan. And the good thing about this is we can lower this down, and then we can even make the decal bigger if we wanted. Whoa! But at least it's just a bit of variety. And then, of course, we got to make sure the decals on this side also match. It's a lot of work. It's actually a lot. I mean, I will admit that does look a hell of a lot better. And I'm going to go in and change the decals now because we don't want to get in the habit of leaving things. We need to start changing the decals like as soon as we place them. So for these walls here, I'm going to keep them as like this brown tile. Whereas when we go into somewhere like the bathroom, I think I might change all of these for like a marble tile. But I'm not just going to do plain marble because I want it to feel like quite a nice brick like this. And sometimes you do just have to give it a minute and let it wait. But I've actually decided to go for like a feature wall in the bathroom. I think looks really nice. Obviously, as we go along, we're gonna have to remember which room is which, so we can constantly be switching up the paintings. But there we go. I cannot believe that we have managed to get all of this in literally using just decals. And of course, our good friend, the basic shape. Thank you. And now is for doors, floors, and roofs. How the hell am I gonna do a roof? We're gonna have to just do, I guess, like a modern roof. Oh my god, I'm literally scratching my head right now trying to work out how this is going to work. So we're going to have to completely switch up our strategy, I think. Now, I am going to be using the solid roofs just to save us a bit of time and money. Now, thankfully, we could just use the cheap decals on these. Only $198 each a piece. And you know what? I'm just going to stick with one for now. Hopefully, this one just fits. So we'll just look up planks. Guys, we looked at that before. It didn't come up with much, but something like that. I was hoping we'd have a more like realistic one. That one's quite nice, I suppose. Imagine I used that piece of crap. Okay, while we're waiting for that to get a good texture, we can go on here and we can look up door PNG because once again, it would be nice to have like a window in the door. These are just windows, babes. We might have to use just the wooden Minecraft door. That looks so funny. And then we're gonna have to just grab it over to the front. I don't even care about the wasting the money at this point. And we'll have to shrink it down a little bit. Someone needs to put this door on Ozempic, damn. 1 hour later. And so there we go. I actually think that's a reasonably good front door considering all factors combined. And oh yeah, I forgot about this. The linen brick has all loaded in nice. So we're gonna go around this, sort of like we're planting something. I'm gonna make all of this linen and hopefully you guys will be able to tell what I'm doing here. And didn't I start this video? It was like 800 grand. How are we already on 600 grand then? So I actually think it's going to be easiest for us to start with a floor in here and then just delete the floor afterwards. Okay, that's a bit wonky, but I get the picture. Rather than like resizing it up every time, we can just then place it directly on. So I truly do not care how much this costs, honestly, anymore. I just want it to be easy. And also, I do not care what it looks like from a bird's eye view. I always say this, but truly, who the hell is looking at your house from above unless they're flipping creep? I mean, I did skydive in the last video, but again, I wasn't looking at other people's roofs. I was just trying to survive. And okay, that is not bad. I do think we've made it a little bit too overhanged. So if we just bring it all back one. And okay, that's actually saving us a bit of money, although technically I've already spent the money, so it's just wasted. There we go. Yes, that looks like a little bit nicer. A bit more of a reduced overhang. Now, I swear they added a painting that could go on the floor. Was it the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
We've got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Can you change this? I have a feeling that you can't change this, but let's see. No! Okay, because I know there is a way to do decals on the floor, but it's so much. So basically what you have to do is you have to get yourself a basic shape like this and just make it like a thin little stick. And actually, you don't really need it to be transparent. It's kind of easier if it's not actually, so you can see what you're doing. And we're just gonna look up concrete, just literally concrete. Is that how you spell it? I think. And hopefully, yes, it actually does. It has like the exact Bloxburg concrete texture. This is thrilling. So you might have looked at this in the thumbnail, guys, and thought, oh, look, you've cheated. You must have used floor there. Nope. Now, obviously, you got to be a little bit careful when you're close to the edge of the plot. And damn, that looks so cute. This is also a chance for us to use some of those viral TikTok building hacks. I'll try and find some of them, but it's basically where you get like faded grass. So I think you just look up grass. No, none of this will work. Grass decal codes. Let's go and use these. Oh, thankfully, Jordan. We all love Jordan. Otherwise, it's literally impossible to copy and paste these. You have to go back and forth and type it in and you get confused. So if we add that in. Now, please, why are these not going HD? That is slightly worrying behavior. Hello. Right, we'll go back and look if any of them have loaded in a second. We do also need some fences. Touch grass, kids. I do touch grass, thank you. At least once a year. And I know for certain we are going to have trees. I don't use them a lot because I prefer normal trees, but I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Now, this grass texture I think is the best that we're going to get, babes. So we're just going to have to lay this on thick. And like, who the hell wants to sit and watch me twist these all day? So instead, I put a beautiful song. And I even had to add a light down here, guys, so I could actually see what was going on. But I think, oh, apart from this one here, I've managed to get all of the grass in looking stunning.
My friend said the carnival game is
what?
rigged, but I...
Siri, where the hell did Siri just come from? And also, am I actually dumb? I've just missed like this whole half of the house. I think because these decals were here, I just wasn't paying attention to it. But thankfully, I'm a magician, so I can just... And I'm so sorry, guys. My camera cut out for a second there. I was trying to do a magic trick, but that just goes to show how long I've been recording this for, that my camera is literally running out of storage. Also, when like you're not looking at it, can you see that? Like it literally disappears. Not our house disappearing in front of our very eye. We're also gonna get some more grass. Y'all, do not use this. It came out so tiny. Even when I resized the decal, it is so small. It is so tight. Oh my god, look at that. Unable to save game. That literally never happens. That just goes to show, guys, that I've got full Wi-Fi. It cannot handle all of these flipping decals. Yeah, let's check the plot data. How do you even see that? I literally am so dumb. Is it on options? Oh, plot data size only 5%. That is surprisingly low, actually. Anyway, I don't know why I'm looking for a whole new tree trunk when I legitimately have the color wheel. So surely we can just like... Oh, yeah, babes. Beautiful stuff. So this tree is going to be like the main character of today. And I probably should have done all this before I placed the grass in, because now it's going to be really difficult. By the end of the day, who gives a crap, okay? As long as we're having fun, that is all that matters. This is like the weirdest exterior I've ever seen, but I think this is all I can actually handle. Like my mental well-being is struggling from this. There is one more thing that I will add, and that is going to be some outdoor lanterns. Oh my goodness. That is the biggest wall lantern I've ever set my measly eyes upon. And there we go. I'm pretty happy with that, to be fair. Maybe. Anyway, as we go inside, I'm actually... Don't know if you can hear that. Unzipping my jacket and taking it off. I'm getting sweaty. This is how tense it is. And now I think we learned our lesson last time not to place the floor in first. So what about lights? That is the other thing. We may have to allow ourselves real lights. And why have I never realized that wheat is such a good color for a light? So I think the first thing to do before we go in delving into any rooms is just placing in all of our decals. So how the hell are we going to do a kitchen? I did actually ask ChatGPT to give me decals, but when I started like putting in the codes, like this is apparently a grey sectional sofa. What the hell is that? That ain't no sectional sofa. So for the appliances, again, I think we're just gonna have to manually look this up like a coffee machine.
A few minutes later.
Now for the counters, I'm literally just gonna look up counter, and I have no idea if this is gonna work. If not, we're just gonna have to pick a texture that we really like. And there we go. This is officially our kitchen counters. Also, the fridge should actually be pretty easy. Oh my god, that is kind of crazy to be fair. And then we're gonna have just marble, because that way it looks like the top of our counters is marble. And I even found these stools. I mean, they look like fake as hell, but we're gonna be using them nevertheless. Look at the top of it. It's so fake. Also, I hadn't clocked, but we're going to need some sort of cabinets. But I guess that we can just use these as the cabinets. And then finally a kettle. Now, I feel like it kind of makes sense to have a kettle on top of the stove. But this is going to be our sofa room. Now, the thing is with this being a two-sided decal is that like it looks like that from both angles. So maybe we'll actually have to have the sofas like against the back walls, just so like you can't actually see the back of them, so it doesn't look so flipping fake. And then obviously we need our coffee table. Okay, the moment of truth, guys, to see if any of this stuff is actually gonna look half decent. All of these decals are actually maxed out in size, so what What the hell am I gonna do with this?
What is that?
How is that ever gonna look realistic? Then this is our flat screen TV. And oh my gosh, I love like the purple LEDs on that. It looks so cool. I am gonna allow myself a usual floor just because I cannot go through the pain of decal floors once more, guys. Okay, guys. So I found some pretty sick decals. Obviously the rugs, you've probably seen me and many other YouTubers and builders use these before. Then here, I don't think I've seen many people use them as a bookcase. In fact, I'm even gonna put a bookcase in the entry. We'll have a small one in the entry, a big one in our dining room. Do you like my dining table, guys? In the bedroom, I think we can get away with having another bookcase. I don't want to be no basic person just copying all the same things. Then we're gonna need a headboard.
A few minutes later.
Okie dokie, guys. So for the bedroom, I was planning on having a Minecraft bed, but then I sort of was thinking back to what we did up on the roof. And I was thinking that we could basically do a very similar design here. We could take our headboard, and can you guess what I'm gonna do? Probably, it's pretty obvious. We're basically just going to grab these panels that we had, and these are going to be the sides of the bed. So with the bedroom done, here is the bathroom. Oh yeah, and this is my shower. This is all they had, okay? And then I bought these double doors. I thought this was like a really sick little finale to the video. And oh my gosh, we did it! We actually did it! That's the decal house done. That was by far like the hardest, most stressful video I've done in a while. Okie dokie, guys. So here we are standing outside the house. The value is $317,000, which you might think, okay, that's not too bad for a house, but look at it. Look, it's tiny. Okay, don't look at the top. But to be fair, if you spin all the way around this house, it looks fine. Like, especially if you saw this from a distance, I would not have any suspicion. I would not be thinking this entire thing's made out of decals. So obviously the exterior is really basic, but it's impressive because the fact it's made out of decals. Now, as we walk through my Minecraft iron front door there, then we are welcomed into the main area of the house. So the hallway has just got a bookcase in. We can obviously sort of see into the house, and it's a sight, let's just say that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I'm actually loving this living room. We then have the kitchen, which, to be fair, this is probably my favorite room. Bedroom, Soleil, we got a big bed, but we got the headboards, we got men's tables, and we got more wardrobe. And then the final room in here is the bathroom. What do you guys do in the shower? I always dance. But there we have it, guys. That does indeed conclude this decal house. But let me know in the comments what other crazy videos you want to see, and I'll see you all later.